get
Are you still training? Are you still here? Are you still
Representative Truitt. Your son's looked great this morning. He made 2 or 3 really good blocks.
It's an eye-opener for him.
What?
It's been an eye-opener for him.
We're going to call to order the Board of School Trustees Wednesday, August 12, 2015 meeting at 6:30 p.m. And we are at Central Office. Tonight we have a consent agenda items, of which there are 7 of them. I need a motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Sauter, second by Dr. Springer. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, hearing none, the motion carries. We'll move on to bus replacement solution. I need a motion, resolution, excuse me. I need a motion for that.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Marley, and second by Mrs. Witt. Discussion. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, hearing none, the motion carries. And we'll move on to a reason why we're not the sole reason we hit it, 98% of it, and that is the academic achievement, our staff recognition, and Dr. Killian.
And Alan will have you start out with reading the nice introductions, and then we'll turn it over to our wonderful legislators who are here as well to help us with each of our retirees. I want to thank Representative Truitt, Representative Klinker, and Senator Alting for being here. And let me just say that a lot of times when I write things, I'm very general, but we have 3 legislators that get it. They support public education. They know what it takes, and they're supportive of our school district. So I just want to make sure I publicly say that and say thank you to Sheila and Randy and to Ron for always being there to support public education and helping us to do what we need to do for the sake of our kids. So thank you 3 very much.
Well, we're going to start first with Mary LaHaye, and she was here from 2004 to 2015. That would make sense. And 11 years at West Lafayette. And Mrs. LaHaye first became connected with the West Lafayette schools in the 1980s when she worked part-time to supervise the Cumberland lunchroom. From 1999 to 2001, Mrs. LaHaye worked as a paraprofessional for Cumberland Elementary and the GLASS program. Then she became the Media Center Assistant for West Lafayette High School in 2004, and later served within the West Lafayette and has served within the school corporation for over 11 years. Mary was well known at West Lafayette High School and her contributions over the year, easy for me to say, made her an important asset to the corporation. As the Media Center clerk, Mary was responsible for placing orders, helping students check out books, and restocking the shelves, but she was much more than just an assistant. Her organizational skills and her willing attitude made her a wonderful person to work with. And Betty Lynn Bentledge says, Mary was enthusiastic and she would often already be working on a task before she was even asked to do so. She saw what needed to be done and was proactive in making sure that it got done. Mary was always there to lend a hand to staff and students, and she wanted to make things run smoothly. She will be missed within our library and our school. Mary?
Thank you.
And on behalf of the board, congratulations. Thank you. I'll give a left-handed pat.
Mary, we'll go first because, the Senate always thinks they're a little bit more important. He wants to be the last.
Look at the size of the frames.
Yeah, but you see the size of our frames. Mary, we want to thank you. You have to have some fun once in a while with some of the things. And I want to thank you, Dr. Killian, so much for many of your articles. I know maybe not all of the folks agree with you all the time, but I just want to thank you for going out on a limb and being willing to support public education. It's meant a lot to me as a public school teacher for 35 years, and I think those articles are making a difference, folks, I think, Don't you think so? They're having some committee hearings, and they're going to be looking at testing and why we're doing it and what's going to be on those tests, right, Randy? And lots of other issues that whether we judge a person's talents by merit pay, based on test scores, a lot of different issues that we have to face today. So we appreciate the fact, Mary, that you've given your life to education, and I know Randy feels the same way, and he'll have his opportunity to tell you that too. But I want to thank you on behalf. I've had 3 grandkids in West Lafayette. Some okay? Some good? Thank you. She's okay. You handled Maddie with kid gloves. Anyway, we're very, very happy and pleased. West Lafayette teachers are a very special group.
Yes, my
Mary,
kids went through the system and I agree.
you agree too.
Wholeheartedly,
Aren't they
yes.
wonderful?
Yes,
They really
yes.
are.
Thank you.
And I think, well, we'll clap. I think in general, Mary, and this goes to all of you, and we say it every year, and it's always sad when we get the list. This year, having it be so long was also disappointing, but it's also rewarding because, as I've said before, the impact that all of you have made on so many of our children that are still here in the community and elsewhere throughout the world. Thank you, and we appreciate everything that you do, and we wish you the best of luck in your
Thank you
retirement.
so much. I appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Mary. Thank you to the school board for what you do, and thank you for inviting me here, Dr. Killian. I'll make just a general comment to you and the rest of the 8 remaining teachers that are retiring. Let me just say this, and I say this every single year here, but it is worth repeating because it's what public education is about. Many years ago, I was assistant chairman of the Education Committee in the Senate. That was back in the good days.
Yeah, I was going to
Public
say.
education.
Good.
But having said that, you're flooded with statistics and information from all areas regarding education. In every specific area you can think of, they bombard you with statistics. But the one that meant the most to me in my entire life when I was sitting next to the chair, when we had testimony, and they gave this simple statistic that they got like 200 kids that graduated from college that was C students at best in high school. And they polled these kids and asked them, what was the #1 factor that motivated you to get that high school degree to go on to college and pursue your career? You know, was it, and I think to myself, I'm sitting there, maybe it's your passion of math or history or this and that. And do you know what it was? It was that one teacher, they said, that one single teacher that went the extra mile for me. Well, I fit in that category. The old coach is back there in the corner who knew Crawley and Heath and Schultz and a bunch of them that can tell the stories. Sheila will, but this is a campaign year, so she's going to be quiet. But I fit that, I say that respectfully. I fit that category, and I thank God, the teachers. I am humbled and honored to be here. The 3 of us go to a lot of different ceremonies, but I can tell you, speaking for all 3 of us, it's really special to be here in this occasion for educators, and it's my privilege to be here. In saying that, we're a little more conservative with our dollars in the
I knew he would have an answer.
So let me just say in closing, congratulations to you. Thank the good Lord for you and the rest of you and the thousands of kids that you have impacted that has went on to better society in their communities, in their state, in their nation. You're the best. So again, congratulations. I wish you well in your new journey.
I just would like to say thank you, and like I said before, my kids went through the corporation, and the education they received is tremendous. I mean, it has carried them so far. I look at Diane, she had 2 out of the 3, but it is a great corporation. I appreciate the opportunity to work with you.
No, thank you very much. The second person I want to recognize tonight is Lonzie Patterson, who's not here tonight, but 1991 to 2015, 24 years at West Lafayette. And Lonzie joined the custodial staff at Happy Hollow in 1991, and he served the corporation for 24 years, like I just said. Jeanette Thompson, Mr. Patterson's supervisor, said, even though I didn't work with Lonzie Patterson long, he always was kind and helpful and a very positive person. If you ever needed anything, he was a great team player and always willing to help out whenever needed. From what I saw, he was loved by all the teachers. And Rachel Witt, my colleague on the school board, mentions that every time I had the occasion to be in Happy Hollow, I would see Lonzie hard at work with a warm smile and a friendly greeting to all he would encounter. In addition to his efforts to keep children and staff safe and healthy at Happy Hollow, Lonzie went above and beyond as a role model. And I am grateful that my children had the opportunity to encounter Lonzie's work ethic, dedication, and positive attitude. Thank you, Rachel. So for Lonzie Patterson, I want to say congratulations. Next, we'll move on to Judy Provancha. This won't be an easy one because every time we have done this, it's never easy. But Judy's was, yeah, you can stand up next to Rock. 1975 to 2015, she started here when she was 4. 40 years at West Lafayette, and Mrs. Provancha joined the West Lafayette School Corporation, as I said, in 1975 as the elementary curriculum secretary at Happy Hollow School. Do you remember that?
I do, just a little bit. It was a little bit later. I was in the lunchroom.
Okay. For most of her years with the school corporation, Judy has worked in the central office as the curriculum secretary for the school district. She worked closely with certified teachers, of office staff, and substitute teachers, and Mrs. Provancha's children were students in the West Lafayette School Corporation. With over 40 years of service to the district, Judy has served under numerous superintendents. Some great?
7.
7, is that right? And has formed relationships.
Yeah.
And has 7 of them, and has formed relationships with countless staff members. Judy has always been willing to go above and beyond for her coworkers. She was constantly working late hours and weekends at the central office, and she often assisted with tasks outside of her regular job description. Her knowledge and experience with our district was an incredible asset to parents and teachers, and the staff at each building trusted Judy implicitly, and she will be missed by many within the corporation. Ross Sloat, our outgoing assistant superintendent, said a good description of Judy is to assign adjectives for each letter of her name. J is for judicious. She was always wise and used discriminating, sensible judgment in her position. U is for understanding, always showed empathy in dealing with parents and staff. D is dedicated, always dependable and dedicated to the entire school district. And Y is, why do you need to retire? I like that.
I was waiting for the Y.
That's all I could think of.
Starts with a W, though.
Ross went on to say, you will certainly be missed by all. So Superintendent Rocky Killian shared that Judy is a true servant. He says, I don't know, you should say this yourself, but I'll say it. She always exemplified love, grace, and mercy. I shall never forget the many times she offered to me sound advice on the many ideas and, this is the operative word, schemes I was working on. She was a joy to have in the office. Her knowledge of WLCSC and its rich history was always available, and to my knowledge, she never said no when asked by others for help. Judy, you will be greatly missed by everyone at West Lafayette Community School Corporation. You are a true blessing to us all. And I just will say on behalf of the board, we have, and all the jelly beans I owe you, I know. But we were grateful for just your disposition and all the wonderful. You always greeted us with like you were happy to see us, though we knew that couldn't completely be true. But we were happy for that.
It was a great ride. It's been wonderful, and it's been great to have the inside look at how things really work. Because it was so satisfying to see how hard people worked, and the people on the outside did not really see that. They don't see that. They don't know the wringing of hands and the decision-making, and they think they make sometimes decisions even with the closing of the schools and opening of the schools and little bits of information here and there. But I knew how hard the central office and the teachers and the administrators all worked for those decisions. It was never easy, and I was so proud. I was so proud to see that part of it. So, and my kids always use this standard, West Lafayette schools, in their doings, and my one son's a teacher, and he always says, now what are they doing in West Lafayette? And when he heard they lost a physics teacher, he said, oh, they're going to have a hard time getting it. So it's been wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Thanks so much.
Lay it on thick, guys.
Judy, you were delightful to talk to whenever we came in here. And she always made us feel at home. And I do want to mention, I do have my gray and red. I thought that was too red and black tonight. So we have a little gray and red. And I just want to mention, Judy, that, some folks in my family played in the state finals for Jefferson High School against Oscar Robertson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but guess what? He roots for his kids, his grandkids, at West Lafayette School.
There you go.
And that's big, right, Bob?
That's it.
So we're just delighted that your children went here, and you were a large part of this whole plan here, and gave Dr. Killian the good advice to stay home and not go to South Carolina. Right, Rocky?
Yes.
So we know you were a part of that and all the conversations that went on, Judy. So we are very proud of you, and we'll miss you a lot.
And I think the only thing that I could add is Mrs. Provancha started about the same time that I walked through those doors at Kingston. She did say no occasionally when we tried to sneak out the back of the lunchroom, I think. So
He was my lunchroom
yes,
buddy.
So, no filming and no tape recording.
Lots of curly hair.
Yes.
Sort of Art Garfunkel.
But in all seriousness, I wish there was a letter with the letter S, because it would be smile. And you always had a smile on your face, and I'm sure maybe some of the time you didn't really want to be smiling, but you always did, though, and I think people can probably attest to that. When you walk into a room and there's individuals smiling, it makes a big difference. So thank you, and I know you'll enjoy your retirement for sure.
I will.
Thank you, Judy, for your service.
Congratulations. Move on to Sharon Mason, 1971 to 2015. Just 44 short years at West Lafayette. Sharon has been part of West Lafayette staff for many years, and as soon as she graduated, Sharon became the secretary to the principal at Cumberland in 1971. That would have been Mr. Parenti.
Yeah.
Okay.
John Parenti.
Where she remained for several years before becoming the secretary to the principal at Happy Hollow. During her time at Happy Hollow, Sharon has served with 5 different principals, and she served teachers, students, and families within the West Lafayette School Corporation, again, for 44 years. One of Mrs. Mason's administrators stated she has a wealth of knowledge about the community and schools. She has been through many changes within the corporation, helping to guide the school system through them. And I appreciate her ability to learn new programs and train others as needed. Her willingness to go above and beyond what is asked of her was always appreciated. Sharon dedicated her entire career to West Lafayette Community Schools, and she will be missed. Thank you, Sharon. Congratulations.
Thank you. Sharon, my kids loved Happy Hollow, and it's because of the people in it, including certainly yourself. So we wish you lots of fun in retirement. You know what you're going to do yet?
Oh, we're going to enjoy grandbabies.
Oh, wonderful.
Some in Missouri and some in Michigan. So
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Well, think of us once in a while.
I will. I will.
And we're just very proud
Thank
to
you.
certainly honor you tonight. We'll miss you.
Thank you.
Sharon, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sharon, thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're
for
more
what
than
you've
welcome.
done. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. It's been, like Judy said, a great ride. I've kind of grown up in the school corporation. My father was a night custodian at at Cumberland. for many years when I was tiny, and my mother used to take us over there, and we would help him clean the building at Cumberland. And so when I got my driver's license, I would go over there and help clean with him to enjoy it and have a good time. And position came open, and he said, hey, why don't you think about maybe being a secretary? And I go, okay. So interviewed, and I had 2 job offers, one from here and one from Allstate. And I decided to take the one here, and I've never regretted it ever since. I've certainly enjoyed it. It's been a great ride. This corporation is the best.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to Mary Jo Anderson, 13 years at West Lafayette from 2002 to 2015, and 16 years total. Mrs. Anderson dedicated 16 years to public education and 4 years to early childhood education as a daycare director. She joined the West Lafayette Community School Corporation in 2002 after teaching at both Lafayette School Corporation and Benton County School Corporation. She started her employment with West Lafayette Schools at West Lafayette Junior Senior High and transitioned to Happy Hollow, where she has taught for 13 years. And one of Mrs. Anderson's administrators said she demonstrates a lot of patience and understanding with our students and parents. She's extremely thorough in her job and has always had very high expectations of herself and her students. She communicated with parents regularly and helped students through many, many difficult situations. I appreciate her hard work and a dedication to our school, and she will be missed. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mary Jo, congratulations. I know you'll be missed not only by the students, but by your peers. I can tell you were a very popular teacher, and Randy and I would certainly like to salute you. I don't know whether you had any of the Jacobs kids.
It doesn't ring a bell.
You would remember.
Well,
Yeah.
I had quite a few.
Wow, that was
Well, we want to thank you so much for all the children that you had, and I know you made a tremendous difference, and we thank you very much.
Oh, well,
and
thank
enjoy your
you.
retirement.
Thank you so much. Oh,
I always have a hard time with teachers on calling them Mrs. or I was brought up to say Mrs.
yeah, it's Mrs.
Thank you.
I always had a hard time with teachers.
I did. I did have a hard time. Especially.
Oh, that's fine. And I just want to thank everyone too. It's been a wonderful experience to be able to teach. I started late, is why I don't have as many years as everybody else, because I was middle-aged, I guess, before I started teaching. But I loved it, and the kids are so special, and you'll see me around. I will miss everyone too much.
Mark Stodgel, who's not here tonight, but I want to read briefly about Mark as well. 9 years at West Lafayette, 24 years total. And Mr. Stodgel joined the West Lafayette School Corporation in 2006 as a guidance counselor at the junior senior high school. He earned his bachelor's degree and master's degree in counseling from Purdue University. His 24 years as an educator and counselor includes experience teaching in Texas as well as Indiana and local school corporations such as Benton Lafayette and West Lafayette. Mr. Stodgel began his counseling career at West Lafayette and said as a junior high counselor in 2006. He had a special interest in students who needed special attention and led professional development sessions with colleagues on topics like student bullying and issues with self-injury among students. He was a very visible counselor in the hallways when kids were out between periods, before and after school, and especially during the lunch hour. He knew the kids in the junior high where they were located during the day, who they ate lunch with, who they were friends with, and what their challenges were. He created several lunch hour peer mentoring groups over the years and was especially effective at getting colleagues and expert guests involved with providing support and resources for kids in need. So that's Mark Stodgel. Move on to Fasun Gulen, 29 years at West Lafayette. And in 1986 to 2015, Mrs. Gulen graduated from Purdue University in 1970 with a bachelor's degree in fine arts. And in 1976, she earned a master's degree from Purdue also in fine arts. Prior to coming to West Lafayette High School, she taught programs at the Greater Lafayette Art Museum, and from 1984 to 85, she was also the artist in residence for the West Lafayette Public Schools. She joined Westside as an art teacher in 86 and has taught within the school district for 29 years. She primarily taught drawing, painting, and ceramics during her career and is an accomplished artist in her own right and worked to instill her craft to prospective student painters. She is traditionally trained, but always made an effort to find ways to use innovations in technology in her teaching. The last several years, this included a great interest in digital art. She frequently invited guest artists to help supplement her teaching and give her students as many different perspectives as possible to allow them to develop art on their terms. She frequently took upper levels of ceramics, especially where she created a long following of students over the years. And congratulations.
Well, many of us, as you know, love the arts. And I have seen your work and heard so much about you from the students. They truly love you, and you will be missed, and we hope that you continue in the arts business here locally. You're not going to move, are you? Good. Because you've been so active in the arts, and we want you to continue that, and that's certainly a long career in teaching art, and we just really appreciate the fact that you've kept the arts alive in West Lafayette. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I loved teaching in West Side. I have no idea where 29 years went. Never had a day that I thought it was too long. And I really feel that I was very lucky to be able to teach in a school like West Lafayette High School. Thank you.
Move on to Betty Bentledge. 35 years at West Lafayette, 35 years, all 35 years in her career. And Betty graduated from Truitt University with a bachelor's degree in German and a master's degree in education. And in 1980, she became a media specialist for West Lafayette High School, and she has served as a teacher in the West Lafayette schools, again, for 35 years. She has had the unique ability to maintain a traditional library while embracing change in the world of media centers. She was very interested in technology and how to integrate that into a modern media center where students wanted to be. And they came by the dozens before school, at lunch, and during study halls. She always made the media center a welcoming place for students and staff alike, and she made use of a variety of materials and always kept them current. Colleagues also saw the Media Center as a welcoming place to be, whether that was for an entire class to have an orientation with Mrs. Bentledge or for her to pull books and other materials for projects and assist with those students during a visit. She was also famous with colleagues for Wednesday Treat Day, which Diane must have remembered that. So, which started as Betty Lynn and Joyce Christopher bringing in favorite desserts and dishes to share with teachers, and over the years evolved into an all-inclusive experience where individuals or departments scheduled themselves to bring in goodies for all to share. Wednesday morning gatherings in the library will be sorely missed among the sweet-toothed faculty at West Lafayette High School. So that's Betty. Congratulations. And we'll go on to David Collins, who has spent 27 years at West Lafayette Schools, 37 years total. And he joined the West Lafayette High School staff in 1988 as the earth science teacher. Graduating from Indiana University with a master's degree in 1980, Mr. Collins previously taught in Monticello and Charlestown, Indiana, and he taught earth and space science at West Lafayette High School for 27 years and for a total of 37 years of his teaching. He taught earth science, like I said, in 7th and 7th grade science as well. He loved teaching and using any technology innovations that would enhance the classroom experience, and he developed a following of students in his meteorology classes for his enthusiastic interest in weather systems. Mr. Collins is perhaps best remembered for creating a student trip to the Mammoth Cave County in Kentucky. That is a legendary trip. And he led many groups of students and parent chaperones on intense caving experiences for a number of years. And when his health made it more difficult for him to take part in the actual caving, he relied on colleagues to help with the trips. John Levy was a regular, as was Leo Leffert, who was also a former student of Mr. Collins in junior and senior high school. Congratulations.
David, congratulations to you and your work with the students. I know if you taught in Charlestown, Senator Jimmy Lewis tried to keep you home, right? Remember Jimmy? Because he really cared about education. He was a good friend of Senator Alton's too. But we're very proud of you, and we hope that you won't leave us, that you'll come back and see us and still be interested in telling those kids some of the wonderful things that you know and sharing your information. Thank you very much.
And I think one of the things about Mr. Collins, if you ask students that have had him in the past, learning is fun. And when you take something like that, and the same thing for the Media Center type of activity, but you take something that's so important that maybe some kids might not have an interest in, you made it fun. And I think that's a common theme to all your students over the years. So
Thank you very
congratulations.
Much. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a great honor and privilege to teach here, and I had great colleagues and just a tremendous group of kids. I always said that I loved my subject and my subjects. And so just great experience, and I think that the board took a big chance on letting me do a 2-day cave trip to Kentucky, and I always just had a great group of parents, and probably over the years several hundred kids got to experience that, and it was a great part of my course, and I think the kids enjoyed it, and I tried really hard to make it fun and interesting, and the feedback was great, and I seriously loved what I got to do. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
My replacement is a former student teacher who went on the cave trip. So she knows it well. And I'm very excited that she will be teaching earth science and 7th grade science. So
She'll ask you to be the chaperone, you know.
you may.
Well, thank you. Congratulations. Move on to our last honoree of the night, and this also a special one, certainly for the board as well. Ross Sloat, 5 years at West Lafayette, 17 years in school administration total. Mr. Sloat has served in school districts throughout the state of Indiana. You're not 92 years old, so you haven't been in every county, but you have for many years as both teacher and administrator. Well, actually, not all that counties. Mr. Sloat holds a bachelor's degree in industrial education and a master's degree in guidance and personnel services from, what school would that be that you're graduating? Purdue. Yeah, Purdue University. Yeah. And as well as a school superintendent's license from Ball State University. Ross is probably one of the biggest fans you're ever going to find. Working in school districts such as Concord, Beech Grove, and Benton, Ross held positions as assistant superintendent and superintendent. And in 2010, he joined the West Lafayette Community School Corporation as the assistant superintendent and CFO. And he threatened to quit every 6 months. He never did, but we were glad to. We were just glad to be able to keep him here. West Lafayette High School alum and long-time district employee Bob Troyer had this to say about Ross. He was out there talking on a cell phone. I thought he was trying to dial something up. Ross, this is very nice. Come on. Ross was a true professional and balanced, wanting to get things done that would be best for students and staff with the reality of what budget would prudently allow. He was very open and accessible to staff to explain retirement, medical, or other financial questions that any staff member might have. More than anything, I think he allowed Rocky and the board to not worry about fiscal responsibility of the corporation and having it be in the best hands possible. And I would say that that's very, very true, at least from my position on the board. So Ross, I think that's a true statement. That was very tame. That was good.
Thank
you. Superintendent Rocky Killian shared that. This might not be. Ross came to West Lafayette Schools when we needed him most. He always had an open door, welcoming anyone who needed help or assistance. I shall never forget the many times he counseled with those thinking about retiring, helping them with their financial situations. Also, I shall not forget the many reactions he has had when I came to him with something outside the box. I enjoyed watching him as he tried to, once or twice. I enjoyed watching him as he tried to conceive the steps necessary to accomplish the many ventures. Notice we didn't say schemes, we just said ventures, a word that were collectively designed. Without him, many of the ideas we conceived would not have been possible. Ross, thanks for being a kind and caring friend and colleague. You will be missed by all, and don't forget, knowing is nothing at all, but to imagine is everything.
Well, I don't remember the exact year, but I'm going to say 2009-ish. I was a new legislator, and I had some questions on funding-related activity. And this gentleman was at BC at that time, and I sat down in his office, and we spent some time going through, and I never have ever forgotten that, and I appreciate that very much, you taking the time. I still kind of changes every year, but I kind of understand it a little bit now. But, and also appreciate you, not only just the way you approach things, but the way your mind thought about creatively trying to fix problems. So I wish you the best of luck, Ross.
Thank you. And Ross, you have one of the hardest jobs there is. Superintendent.
Rocky.
No, it's not just Rocky. I'll defend him there. It's just a very, very difficult job. I know Eric Rohde in Lafayette is a member of our Kiwanis, and he's shaking his head all the time. Particularly with the legislators not giving you enough money. And I understand that. The Budget Committee is coming this weekend, folks, to Purdue, if you'd like to say hello. Some of them. Thursday and Friday. They're meeting Friday morning, and we will be voting on many issues for Purdue and for schools. And we just appreciate the fact, Ross, that you have hung in there and continued to be a great business manager. And I have to ask you, what are you going to do in retirement? Are you going to do statistics?
Well, I'm not going to ride bike, for one thing.
That'd be good.
Are you going to teach at Purdue?
No, I just, I don't know yet.
You're just going to relax for
I got
a
a lot of
while.
options, just got to weigh them all out.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, we hope you stay local and stay in Indiana and our community, Ross.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate what
Thank you.
you've done for all our students and our teachers, too. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got to make a comment on Ross, if I may. He's no different than the teachers that we honored here. I've had the privilege to work with him like Representative Truitt on matters dealing with the budgets and so on, but more importantly, over the years, if you know my background as a restaurant guy, Ross loves to come eat with me. And I have had the privilege of being with him and his lovely wife on several occasions with some good dinner and break bread and talking. These are nice, and the bells and all that's nice, but in real life, what you leave behind, what you have performed, what you have done, is the most important, right? That's right. And this guy's no exception to that. He's a caring man, a compassionate man, patience, which is something not a lot of men have, including me, that I pray for. And you're just a very, very, very good quality man. And this corporation was fortunate to have you, and whatever you do in life, you'll still impact people because of the character you are and your lovely wife. So thank you for what you've done here.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
In some ways, I feel a little bit like a foreigner. I mean, I didn't grow up here, my kids didn't go here, and I only had one superintendent in Rocky. And so, I feel a little bit on the other side of everybody had a lot of experience, but, it's been a great experience in a short 5 years. It went by fast, and I appreciate the board giving me the opportunity to work here, and it's been a great privilege working with Rocky. I would like to take credit for one thing.
Why not?
I mean, Rocky thought was close to leaving. I mean, really, I think he was. He called me that night, he got the offer. I said, Rocky, you know, he told me the pay, and I says, I don't know, it doesn't sound that, I'd think about it. So I don't know if that helped him make a decision to stay, but I mean, he was teetering, but I'm glad he stayed, and I think the community's glad he stayed.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate all he's done for me, so thanks everybody for everything.
Yeah, thank you, Ross. Congratulations. Recess to a little bit of refreshments and social time. But one other quick announcement, and I promised her that I wouldn't make a big deal out of it. But in our notes today, or our personnel report, we did have a resignation on our board, and Diane Sauter will be resigning as of effective today. But I think it would be, and I won't do this more than a minute or two, promise. But truly, a person has changed really the fabric of what we've been able to do here for the years that Diane has been here. We'll have an opportunity to quietly celebrate her career here as well down the road. But I wanted to make that clear, that also if we have somebody that would be interested in replacing somebody that will not be replaceable, we appreciate that, as we'll be filling that position within the next month. So I want everybody to know that. Thank you.
Wow.
I hope that was okay. Okay.
And I want to publicly thank Diane for allowing me the opportunity to be here. My first phone call came from her. So.
Actually, I would like to say something. Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish when I ran for the board. I wanted to reestablish trust with the faculty and the community, because we were at a real crossroads. And I wanted to make sure that what we were doing in this office was seen as transparent. All the money going wherever it was supposed to go, and everybody knowing where it was. And I guess the tone of everything, I wanted to change that too, so that it was open. And I wanted to find stability. We needed stability in this community. And in conjunction with that stability was finding a superintendent that was the right fit. And I really think I did a good job there.
So let's enjoy each other's company, and we'll have an opportunity to do that here right away.
You might want to officially adjourn.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Can I take a motion to adjourn?
Oh, let me.
So moved by Mrs. Slaughter, second by Mr. Schott. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, hearing none, that motion carries.
And we're going to have cookies and punch. They're coming out now, so please stay around and feel free to mingle and enjoy yourselves. Thank you all for attending.